This is Sarah Voss, the Director of Community and Neighborhood Development, and you're joining us for another episode of Metro Musings. I have some board members with me here today. I have President Prohl and Director Swearingen. So we've got a board member that has been on for a while and a brand new board member here to talk to you today about what it means to be a board member, what they can and cannot make decisions about, and just kind of what some of the challenges and opportunities are going forward. So Doug, I think we're going to start with you. So how long is it that you've been on the Metro board?
Well, I've been on the board for 2 years now in this term. I was elected to the board back in 1986 in my early board tenure. So this is actually my 6th year on the board, but 2 consecutive years.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you for all of your service. We appreciate that.
Welcome.
And Kim, I think you're brand new, right? Have you had any prior experience to be on the Metro board or even working for the district?
Yeah, I've been on the board for 2 days. So anniversary of 2 days, sworn in yesterday and had my first experience in a special board meeting and a regular board meeting yesterday evening, which was quite exciting. I was the Director of Utilities for the Pueblo West Metro District. I found that I wanted to be more involved in the policy side of things. So I took a job with a private industry called Baseline Engineering, and I decided to pursue my political career. And my first stop is Pueblo West.
Awesome. Thank you. And so I was just going to ask you that, Kim, like, why did you run? Did you just wake up one day and decide, man, I just can't get enough of the district. I don't work there anymore, but I just miss the staff. Why did you run for the board?
So for years, people have been telling me, hey, you should run for this, or hey, you should run for that. I'm like, I'm not so sure if I want to do that. But last year I was part of Leadership Pueblo, and I took a trip to the state capitol, and I found that what they were doing there was something that I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to serve and help my community in a way that most people can't. And I know that through my knowledge of municipal work, I've been working in municipal work for the past 15 years, that I can see what's going on from the staff level as well as the resident level, and then maybe take that knowledge into the upper levels and maybe make some changes. And that's what I want to do.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate that, Kim. And Doug, so however many years ago when you decided first to run for the board, and even now, what drives you to be part of the Metro District Board?
Well, just recently, I've enjoyed a good, successful career in Pueblo West as a home builder for 35 years. I've run a large business over at my Shell convenience store, and I just feel like my background in business and construction, I just felt like I should lend that to our district if the constituents would so have me. So it's more of a pay back to the district for what I've done over the years.
Great, thank you. It sounds like you guys both have some deep roots here in Pueblo West in the community, so we appreciate that. So I know running for the Metro board is a volunteer position, but a lot of challenges can come with being a board member. What would you say, Doug, is the biggest challenge that you've had being in this role?
Honestly, the decision making has always come easy for me. I think it's because of my background in business. Actually, running 2 full-time businesses and juggling the time to spend as a board member is my biggest challenge. I'm not the best keeper of the clock, so I seem to be fragmented a lot during the week, and maintaining a balance has been my challenge. And I think I've done it well. I mean, all 3 are priorities to me. I can't say one is more than another, and I just respect the Metro District. I've been here a long time, and I've seen a lot of changes, seen a lot of political changes, and I feel like that's probably my biggest challenge is finding all the time to do everything that I do.
Great. So sometimes finding balance in volunteer work, family work, all of that is certainly a challenge for everyone, I'm sure. Kim, tell us, what is maybe an opportunity that you see as a board member that you're looking forward to?
Oh, I think there's lots of opportunities. The opportunity to educate, that is one of the things that drives me all the time. I love to educate. I love to explain things to folks. and especially when it comes to things that are fairly difficult concepts. I used to do this when I worked for the city of Brighton. I was part of the planning commission. Well, I was the staff member part of the planning commission, but we would have to take those more overarching engineering concepts that are, fairly difficult to understand. I mean, most people don't understand stormwater flow or the math that goes behind it. But, one of my biggest talents was being able to translate that into a more manageable, small piece way of being able to understand things. So, that's what I'm looking forward to, is being able to take some of those challenging subjects that we have to deal with when it comes to roads or water or any of those things, and explain it to the residents of Pueblo West so that they understand and can make informed decisions.
Great, thank you. I'm really glad you said that. And I think that's another reason why we're doing these videos and trying to really talk to people and humanize what it means to be a board member, what the district is doing, and what board members' responsibilities and decisions can even be. So that leads me to my next set of questions, is sometimes the misconceptions of what board members have the power to do or not to do or make decisions based on. So my first question that I hear a lot is, can the board fire and hire staff? Doug, can you take that one? Just in general, are you guys hiring the staff? Are you firing the staff? Can you answer that?
That's an easy question. The board has two employees, the district manager and our legal counsel. I believe we amended our bylaws last year to take the board out of a position of being the last line of defense for employees that are disgruntled or feel like they want to challenge a decision that's made by staff and by our directors. So we don't, and we can't fire and hire employees other than the two I mentioned, district manager and Harley Gifford, our legal counsel.
Great, thank you. I appreciate you clearing the air on that. Kim, so what about raises? Can you give raises to our staff, our employees, to include our district manager and our legal counsel? What about that?
So what happens with that is typically staff makes recommendations, and they make recommendations through the budget. And then of course the final line in accepting or rejecting the budget is the board. And so through that mechanism, we can, give raises or increase, whatever it is that it's requested, or to deny, depending on what the reasons are. So that's how we have the power to help our employees, is through the budget.
Great, thank you for that explanation. So it's more of an oversight of the entire budget, looking at how each piece kind of plays on the other, making sure we have enough money in kind of the checks and balances. So one question I heard a lot during the campaign recently was about the Committee of Architecture and the declarations of reservations. So what power does the Metro Board have in changing our covenants? And Doug, do you know the answer to that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we don't have the power to change covenants. I think, and if my lifeline were here, Harley, I think I would reach out to him. But I think there is an avenue to change covenants, but I think it takes a certain majority. I think it's over 2/3 of a particular tract has to be on board and has to vote to do that. And to my knowledge, that hasn't happened since I've been in Pueblo West. But I think there is an avenue for that, but it's never been tested.
Yeah,
so no,
thank you.
Just carte blanche change covenants and add covenants at our will.
Yeah, and I believe you're right, Doug. And we've got another Metro Musing that talks a little bit more about amending covenants. And I'm developing a roadmap just to show people that it really is the people's choice. Like you said, it's not the board, but the people can come to the board requesting, hey, we've got this many signatures that have been notarized, and we've come up with a new language. There's a whole step-by-step process. So I appreciate your oversight on that. And Kim, I'm not sure if you know the answer to this, but what is your role with the Committee of Architecture?
I'm not positive on that, but I'm pretty sure that the board watches over the Committee of Architecture and makes sure that they follow the covenants, and they appoint the Committee of Architecture members.
That's correct. I believe that's correct. Doug, do you have any other additions to that?
Yeah, I'll be glad to weigh in a little bit of my opinion. I am concerned that there's too much interaction between the Metro District Board of Directors and the Committee of Architecture. I think there should be more separation. I don't think politics should enter into planning and zoning and enforcement of covenants. And Kim's right. What we do as a board is appoint the committee themselves. And we do that based on recommendations of staff. And I think we have 2 board members that are going to be on the search and screen committee now. With that said, that's my opinion. I think I would like to see more separation between the board and the Committee of Architecture.
Great, thank you. And so I think I'm going to wrap it up with just a few other simple questions. So what are term limits? What are your term limits? And when would there be another opening to the Metro Board? Doug, I'll let you start.
My current term will be up in 2 years. So I was elected for a 4-year term. If I were to successfully run again, I would be limited after my second 4-year term. So I believe consecutive terms of 8 years would be my term limit.
Okay, Kim?
So I am elected to a 3-year term because the state decided to put the election years in odd years. And so that 3-year term is up in 3 years because I just started. And I believe that also constitute I would do another 3-year term as two consecutives. I think that's the way it was written. I would have to check back on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what I read recently.
Okay, thanks. And the reason I bring that up, it's important to know that terms are staggered so that there isn't an entirely new board every other year or something being elected. So I think that's smart for continuity information that you need to know to be a board member, because there's a lot of really big decisions you have to make, and you have to be well read on things that are happening in the community, things that are happening in the district, understanding budgets and programs and contracts and relationships with all sorts of people. So are there any final thoughts from either of you of things that you want to get across to the community?
Not at the moment, but I would like to add to your what you just said, because when we think about term limits and we think about all the things that we want to do or we have an agenda about or things that we care about in the community, I mean, there is definitely a time limit. I mean, I believe Terry Zupan said it perfectly last night when she was saying her closing remarks, was that she really wished she had gotten some more stuff done. And sadly, it's the way it is. We work within the system that we have, and we just do the best with what we can with the time we have. So in closing, I'm just appreciative of everything that everybody has voted me in for. I hope I do a good job and can represent well. Anything
from you, Doug?
No, I echo what Kim said. I heard Terry loud and clear last night. For example, one of the issues that I would like to see come to fruit is the revegetation of Hill Ranch that Kim and I worked on when she was director of our water department. And it's been an ongoing process for like 16 or 17 years and hasn't been accomplished yet. So that's an example of a short time. It sounds like 4 years is a long time, but I'm not sure we're going to get to that end game by the end of my term. I would love to see us do that, but it's a slow process. I think we're tackling it from a different angle that was done in the past by other boards and other district managers. And I think we're going to actually accomplish this. So thanks to Kim, when she was director of our water department, we really forged on and put together a good plan. But that's an example. I think Terry would have liked to see that come to fruit as well, but it's just not, it's not in the cards to be put together in 4 or 5 years.
Great, thank you. And I think that just makes a point, you know, it's a volunteer role, but it takes time and commitment. And it sounds like you both have a lot of passion for the community and some specific projects that hopefully we will see over the next couple of years as we continue to help the district and the community just continue to be an awesome place to live and raise a family and work and play and just enjoy this beautiful warm sunshine that we have most of the summer. So thanks for joining us for another episode of Metro Musings. If you're interested in being a board member or sit on the Committee of Architecture or volunteer with the district, we have information on our website, pueblowestmetro.com. Thanks.
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you.